Now, what is this piece that you're showing me down here? Does this come with Twitch?
Okay,
or is something that I have to get?
I'm sorry, I should have said that to start with. This is the OBS software.
Make pretend you're talking to your youngest son.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry.
But he's three. But he's 3 and he's asleep.
Right. I got it.
That's who you need to explain it to.
I'm going to go through and kind of keep it simple. There's a lot of things that can get complicated. Like where I am now is not where I started. So a lot of where I am now is kind of like a little 1% improvement that I added along the way. So I'm going to show you a couple things that you may need to know for later, but you can store some of them in the back of your head. And then we'll set up like a real simple scene. And so like just the basic starting stuff. All right. So like what you see on screen right now is essentially all this is. The big thing is just my camera. So like my camera views the whole thing, and then there's a bunch of pictures and shit around the edges. Everything that's
your basic webcam then is what you're using right now.
Right. And all these pictures, like this is the story I'm going to write next time I stream. This is like a branding thing I have down here. None of this shit really matters. So like if you're starting out, you may not want all these bells and whistles. You may just want something simple. Right. I'm going to tell you something that you may need to know for like a decision you're going to make later, but it's not terribly important now. So just kind of store it in the back of your head. Like every image that's a square, like this one here, do you see, is there like a red box around it right now? Right. That's a JPEG, and that's pretty much every image that gets shared on Facebook and everywhere else. It's like the simplest form.
Okay.
You see this picture of my head here?
I do. I like that picture.
Okay. That's a PNG. And what makes that different is that it doesn't have to be a square. You can cut out holes in it. In this case, the hole is cut around the whole image. So just kind of store that in the back of your head. Like these words down here are PNGs. So it's kind of like a picture, but every letter's been cut out. Right. And that's just a graphic you can make online. So
I was going to say, those are like, you can get I know there's like especially back in the day when I was doing Angel Fire websites and stuff, you would go to whatever font.com or whatever.
Right. This is just
type stuff in and just drop it in. Yeah.
So that's a PNG too, because it's cut out. Okay. So that's all you need to know about that. This is the thing that I'd use when I'm doing writing. So like I would have my story in the middle, me up here. And again, I got all these like fancy images around the edges. Now we're going to look at the simplest form of that. I made like another thing for just the teaching part. So this is just the basic. So all that bells and whistles images are gone. And so this may be what you want to start with. All right, let me bring up the story again so you're seeing it like a story. Okay. So
right,
the only thing,
how are you doing that? How are you?
I'm about to show you.
Okay.
These squares, this is just an image. This is a PNG. Like I showed you earlier, the holes are cut out for my face and for the story. Does that make sense?
Right.
Now you can find, there's fancier ones of these. There's ones that have animation on them, and you can get them for free, like a set of them from like really famous streamers. They just offer them to their viewers. And so you can grab these a bunch of different places. Jenny made these for me. So that's what that is. You see down here in this box here where I'm clicking?
Right.
This is all the stuff. So these are scenes. So we're looking at a particular scene, and this is the name of it. This is all the shit that's in the scene. So what you need is your microphone link. So that's one element in the scene, and that's this down here. So this is me talking. Desktop comes with it automatically. So this is you talking. So all the noise that you make shows up here.
Right. Now, what is this piece that you're showing me down here? Does this come with Twitch?
Okay,
or is something that I have to get?
I'm sorry, I should have said that to start with. This is the OBS software.
Make pretend you're talking to your youngest son.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry.
But he's 3. But he's 3 and he's asleep.
Right. I got
that's who you need to explain it to.
I skipped something I meant to tell you, so I got distracted there. This is the OBS software. You would download it. I have a video link that I'll send to you after we're done that shows you how to download it. The video is long and has a lot of information in it, but I'll give you the timestamp for just to look at where you download.
Okay.
And there'll be like a code you need to get off of your Twitch to set it up, and I'll show you that too. But let's just pretend you've already downloaded it, and this is what the software looks like when you open it. Okay. What you're looking at right now is my second screen. So like this, the story itself is on my main screen, and you can do this with one screen, but I would have to minimize this, so I wouldn't be able to see it anymore. But it may be helpful to get like a second monitor and get that hooked up, and then like you can have your OBS software open off to the side, and you can make sure your microphone is still working the whole time. And then there would be like, there's something else you need. You need to have Twitch open to be able to see the chat and stuff, and I can show you that in a moment too.
Okay. So I have another monitor, but it's set up to the computer. You're saying get a second monitor just to hook into the same. That
would be hooked into the same computer that you're typing on. And you may find it useful when you're just working. So like if you're writing on something, you can have something else open to the side if you needed to see it, kind of thing. So there's some advantages to having it beyond streaming, but you can do it without having the second monitor, but like all this software would just be invisible while you're typing. So you wouldn't know if someone was talking to you or if the microphone went out or any of that kind of stuff. You wouldn't know.
Right.
All right. So just looking at this basic scene, like once you have the software downloaded and you're making a scene, and I'll show you how to make it, but I want to show you what it is first. I have my microphone linked in. I have my webcam linked in. I have my screen, which is called the display, which would be how they would see your stuff. And then I have this brand thing, the PNG, that kind of lets me cover it up. You don't necessarily have to have that. You can do it. You can set up where that's not even there. That's how I started out. All right, so let me like go ahead and recreate this from scratch the way you would do it. Okay. So this box here at the left is scenes. So when you first download the software, this is blank, this is blank. So to make my first scene, I would hit the plus sign here, and I'm going to name it something different. Scene. You could just call it whatever you wanted that you would remember what it was, but I'm going to name it something different because I have too many scenes here already. So I would just call it from scratch here. Okay. Now you see what we would have here. I would have the one scene and then just nothing. So one thing I need is my microphone. So I hit this plus sign. I can add in audio input capture, which I believe is the microphone. Audio output capture is a little more complicated. You're getting into some gaming stuff. Browser, I can pull things in from the web. So there's things designed. So like, have you seen my stream where the chat shows up? So when somebody types something, it pops up on the screen you're seeing. That's a browser thing, and I just make a box for it. When someone does an emote, like they make a smiley face, it dances around my screen. That's a browser link in there too. And alerts. So like if you can set up in the future where it would be a separate website, but you can set up where anytime somebody follows you, anytime somebody donates money to you, which would be later, all that stuff comes up as an alert. So it's like a little dancing zombie or whatever. And that's a browser link. Color source, I could just put a background color in if I wanted. Display capture is like showing your screen. Game capture you don't need. Image is any picture. Image slideshow, I can set up where I have several images in an actual slideshow, and then I'll put that like a box, and the pictures would just roll if you wanted that. It has limited space, so like depending on how big the picture is, you won't be able to do a whole bunch of pictures. Media source is hard to explain. You probably wouldn't need that. Video capture device is something separate. Wait, that would probably be your camera, I'm thinking. Yeah, video capture device is your camera. Window capture would be like if I just wanted to show one thing and not the whole screen, you can do that. You probably wouldn't need that. All right, so the first thing I want is my video. So we're looking at video capture device, I believe. The only thing I have is my webcam. So like the first time I would type something in and then search for it, and it should find your camera if your camera is connected to your computer. And then you name it something. So in this case, I named it webcam. So the first time I do it, I would type in webcam and then find my webcam. But for our purposes, it's already there. So I can, anytime I make an additional scene, it should always be there. I can click webcam.
Right. So it becomes a default.
Right. But you could go to click on it. So you do add something that already exists.
Right.
So here I have my webcam. I probably want it smaller, so I'd put it up in the corner, and then I would have that already. So you have webcam there. I need my microphone. So that probably is something I should have done first. So audio input capture. Now in this case, again, first time I would type it in. It has two sources here, and this is pretty important. The computer's picking up that my webcam has a microphone, which is usually pretty shitty. When we did our podcast with Tommy, my computer had messed up, and so my sound doesn't sound good because it was picking up from my webcam.
Right, I get that every now and then, yeah.
All right. So you have mic auxiliary. In this case, that's the webcam. And then I have what I call new mic link because it messed up one time on me. Right. So you want to be sure you're picking up your microphone.
Right.
So I put that in.
And you can name that whatever you want.
So you can name it whatever you want, but make it something that you recognize.
Right. Yeti, so I know my Yeti picks up.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it. And sometimes it messes up and you have to go back in and like reconnect it. So there's a way to do that. And we can get into that if you have trouble down the road. Yeah. All right. So I click yes. And now you see it showed up down here. And so now it's picking up my microphone.
Okay.
Probably this you want to, on yours, desktop audio will show up all the time. But you probably want to keep it off because there's probably no sound on your computer that you're going to be streaming, I don't imagine.
No.
Okay. So during your stream, you just keep that off so it's not hearing like every beep your computer makes or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's on for me right now. I'm going to turn it off before I start. It doesn't matter what the microphone is because it's invisible. It does matter what order these are in because they stack up. So like if I put in my boxes, that needs to be on top, and the images or the videos need to be underneath. All right, so what we have missing now is display. So display capture. I have two screens, so if I went in here and searched, I could find my other screen, the one you're looking at right now, but I don't want people to see that. I want them to see my main screen, which is the only thing I have in here at this point. So for display capture, again, you would type in a name and find it. I already have it, so I click it and put it on. Now you see it covered up. It covered up my video because it's just been added. So I have it selected here. I want to bring it down so my video is underneath.
Okay.
So now if you don't want to do any boxes, you can do it like this. So you can have your video wherever you want it on the screen. You can change the size of it. You can't change the dimensions because it has to be the same rectangle. But I can change this thing and put it up here. If I don't want people to see my my top board or whatever, I can make that bigger and hide it.
All right, that makes sense.
So I can show people what I want them to see. So if you wanted, that could be your scene. So if you don't,
so that's whatever you're seeing there. That's literally what they're seeing.
That's what they're going to see.
There's no extra, like like on the webcam, what you see a lot of times is they're seeing a little bit more.
Right, and the way you're looking at it on Skype right now, I could pick so that you only see this box in here. So that would be what they would see. So only what's inside this box. Now, if we want to add the box, this is how an image would be added. So I have all these images here, but I'm going to pretend like I don't have it. I'm going to call it, again, I'm using the word teaching, so I know it's separate. Teaching boxes. I'll just call it. So I click OK. Now I'm browsing, and I need to find where that is in my stuff. So I believe it's under Pictures 2. And I'm looking for these boxes, and I think they're under the name Twitch. All right, so this is all the stuff that, like the start screens and all that. I believe This is the one. One of them's kind of for Minecraft. All right, so let's just say this is the one. I think that's right. Okay, so I'm opening this image. This is the PNG. And so now so I click OK. And so now it's there. Now I need to resize all my stuff to fit.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at what you actually have to do in Twitch. So I'll open up my Twitch channel here. You see.
Right.
Okay. So this is kind of what you would look like if you go to your channel. Everybody you follows over here. I have a trailer on mine, but that's part of being an affiliate. So you would just have probably the last video you recorded would be up there.
Okay.
My videos are down here. I have an about section. On this screen is smaller, so it's in 2 rows. On my big screen, it's in 4 rows. Mm-hmm. So you can make these little panels that have like your book and have a link that go to them. And I can show you how to do that later if you want.
Yeah.
You can make a schedule once you know what you're doing, and then all your videos are here. And I can look at all my videos that I have.
Right. And the videos never go away or anything.
They do go away.
They do go away. How long
after? If you are not an affiliate and you don't have Twitch Prime, they go away in 14 days.
Okay.
If you're an affiliate, they go away in, I want to say 60 days. But if you can get Twitch Prime, so you guys have Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can sign up for Twitch Prime, and you'll associate it with your channel and all that, and then your videos will last for 60 days.
Okay. But no matter what after that.
After that, they're gone.
Yeah. So they're not storing tons of stuff.
They're not storing at all.
Right. No. So don't put anything up there, obviously, that should I need that later or refer to this.
So let me minimize this. Off here to the side, you see where I have, like right now, the only thing that's highlighted is virtual cam.
Right.
All right. The reason that is there, you probably don't want to look at yourself 3 times. Let me just pull this back up.
No, I've done it before.
The reason that is there is because right now Skype is using that. So what you see up in the corner is Skype using my camera. When you start streaming, if I hit this button here, once I have my OBS set up correctly, I would immediately start streaming to Twitch. But here I also have start recording. So if you want, you can hit start streaming and start recording, and it will record what you do on your own stuff. So you can record your stream separately if it's something you want to keep.
All right. So there's something that I'm actually doing on there that I'm like, I know I'm going to need to save. I don't imagine. I'm not going to do. I mean, obviously, in the beginning, I'm not going to be doing videos and little cuts and things like you're doing.
Okay,
I just want to get on there.
But that's where you would do that, so you can record that. And once you get to do that, I can show you the way you want to do that. There's one particular format that if you record in, it doesn't get lost if you get a glitch on your computer. And then you can change it into a format that you can actually edit. If you get to that point. So okay, let me show you how I keep it up here in Twitch. So let me bring that back up, and I'll show you one more thing that you may not remember right now, but you are going to need for later. So again, this is my Twitch channel, the way you would see it if you pulled it up on your computer. Your picture right up here in the corner, if you click that, you have all these options down here. Creator dashboard shows you the background for your stuff. So this is the chat. So if I clicked here, I could type to somebody who's watching me. This is an activity feed, so the people who gave me cheers, people who submitted to my channel.
Okay.
So that's all my money-making stuff. This is the part you're going to need. Edit stream info. So before you stream, you would click this. So it's underneath Stream Manager when you click the dashboard. You have to title your video. I have a bunch of like extra words here that for people to search for me. But this is the actual title here. And it really only goes out about this far. So that's about as far as people would see. Go live notification. This is what pops up for people that follow you if they happen to be online. So you can write up to about 1600, but I find something short is probably better. There are categories. You can stream underneath art or just chatting. Writers is actually a video game that never got made. So a lot of people that are putting on writing kind of cheat and make that their category.
That makes sense.
It doesn't make a lot of difference, honestly. The tags are what matter. So like when I put in this, English is automatically going to come up. Indie game is going to come up because that's technically a game that I'm using for my category. But the category is writing, editing, reading aloud. I put analysis up there because I do articles sometimes. And then I have disabled on mine too. So those are kind of the things that people are really going to be searching for. Twitch isn't great for searching. So it's hard.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was trying to yesterday I was on trying to find other writers who are on, and it was just, it's really, the search thing is awful. They give you the same 5 people no matter what search thing I put in. It was the same 5 people with 100,000 followers or something.
Yeah, it's really hard to find folks on here, even when you know who you're looking for. You can put in their actual name, like the actual username, and sometimes they don't come up in the search. So it's really difficult. So these are kind of the tags that would help you find folks or help them find you.
All right.
So let me show you how I keep it in my screen. So like again, this is my second screen. So this is off to the side that I see. I actually make this a little smaller. All right. So I kind of have this off to the side.
So how faulty is the is it where like it'll drop or something like that? Where
it depends on you. It depends on your system. It depends on how shitty your internet is. It depends on how shitty your computer is. So if you have like a pretty powerful computer, it's not so bad. But internet means a lot. So are you on wireless?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I changed was I did Ethernet. So I literally found a cord.
Yeah, which I have for my other computer, my writing computer. It's plugged directly into the.
So you may want to do the same thing. So that gives you a chance to use your full internet. So if you have a problem with internet dropping in and out, because wireless kind of limits how much of that you're getting, because you're sharing it with your TV and your phone and everything else. If you can plug whatever computer you're streaming from directly in, then you get all of it. I've had no real lag.
Right.
So like people aren't losing frames and stuff like that. That's good. And part of the advantage of that is you and I are not streaming video games. So the main reason you need all that power is because the video game takes up a lot. So streaming a video game requires a lot of bandwidth, and especially when you get up in the higher graphic ones. What we're doing, like where you just have a Word document up, that's no more power than just streaming your camera, essentially.
Right.
Now, right now you're looking at my second monitor, and this is how I have that set up when I actually stream. I have my software here, and then I have this here, where I can see the chat, and if I start typing in chat, hey, how's it going, that kind of thing.
Right.
But a lot of times you don't even end up doing that because like they can hear you talking, so they'll type chat to you and you can chat.
Yeah,
back.
I notice you're just like, hey, hey, thanks for coming in, or you're just answering the questions. Which
right. But I can share links down in here too. So if there's something I'm talking about, I can copy and paste the link and put it here, and it'll pop up as a hyperlink for them in chat. Again, that starts coming when you actually have viewers. But I can see them talking to me here, so this is how I see it. And then I can see like there's a lot of steps. So sometimes early on I would forget to turn on my microphone, and I would just start talking, and I look over here and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have my microphone on. So I remember to click that kind of thing. So that's the kind of stuff you would see. Whereas if I were only using one monitor and I minimize this, I would never know,
Yeah. You first started, did you just kind of jump in and just, because obviously people don't know you're even there, and it's not easy to search for Jay Wilburn on there. So did you immediately go? Because my idea would be just to go on there, even if there's nobody on there, and just to play through it a couple of times.
Right, like do it the way you want to do it for real, and practicing with nobody watching is fine. They can pick up on your videos on demand later. So when I was in the main thing and you saw all those videos down there, you know, that's my last 60 days of stuff. Generally speaking, it's rare that people look at those because people come on Twitch to watch live, but I have had more and more people looking at those over the years since I've been doing it. When I first started, I had one laptop that was not a gaming laptop. All my shit was on there. I had to minimize OBS, and it was just me and that. And like I figured out how to pull chat up on my phone, and it was all wonky and stuff. So it was all bullshit.
Right.
You start with the second screen, then you've already skipped a bunch of steps I went through. But over time, I figured out, okay, I can do overlays. So I got Jenny to make one of those for me. I figured out how to get my chat and like the alerts and all that on the screen, which is important when people start wanting to give you money, because all that encourages that. And then little things like figuring out how to do some of this stuff, like having goals up.
Yeah.
Especially when I do NaNoWriMo, I have a separate thing of goals for that. And so like I can tell how far I'm going to get that day and all that kind of stuff for everybody. I'll show you one more thing you'll need later when you actually set up. Like I said, I'll send you a video that kind of has a section on it that talks about downloading. Right. If you want to actually see somebody do it. But one thing you're going to need is your Streamkey. So that's kind of the secret code to your channel. And so you'll plug that into the software here. And that's how the software knows to stream to your channel. This is what your screen looks like essentially when you go to your own channel.
Right.
You go to Creator Dashboard, which is where we were. Under Settings, click Stream, and this is your primary stream key. You can copy it, you can show it. You do not want any other human being on the planet to see this, because a person can use this to take over your channel.
Oh wow.
But this is what you need in order to be able to stream. So when you download the OBS Studio, it's OBS Studio software is what I just showed you.
Right.
There'll be a point where it asks for your stream key, and this is where it is. You'd copy it and paste it in. And that's how it knows to get to your stream when it's stream time.
All right.
One other thing, under here you can look at content and video producer. And so these are all the videos that I have on right now. These expire in 1 or 2 days, but I already got them loaded up. This is my channel trailer, which is something you can do when you're an affiliate. But if I wanted to, when I click on these dots here, I can export. And if you click on that, you can upload your stream that you just did to your YouTube channel automatically.
Oh, okay, so that's what you're.
Now I record it.
And then you're editing
it down.
Yeah.
Again, best practice is that you don't want the entire 3 hours unedited on there, because most people aren't going to watch that or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
But if you just want the content and you don't want to lose it, you can hit that export and it'll walk you through getting it to your channel and all that.
And then you can if you just save it, you can unlist it and just have it.
And then you can, if you want to download it and edit it later or something, you can. If you're never going to get into it, that's fine too.
I'm worried that for content wise, because I write in 15 minutes bursts and I write a bunch of different things. So I'm not sitting down writing a short story. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, for me, I guess I'm asking advice from you. What should I do content wise that would bring people, say, 3 days a week?
Okay. Well, the first thing is just do what you do and get comfortable with it. So like, don't even think in terms of like, okay, I need to entice viewers in. You just got to get used to doing it.
Right. Yeah.
So just the process of doing it. So whatever you would normally do. I would say also, be careful that you're not streaming anything that's not supposed to be public. Right. So anything you're self-publishing, of course, you can do whatever you want.